I was a theater kid though. But I did it more so for the love of dancing. I was more like a chorus girl. But I was happy with that because I preferred dancing more than being the lead. Anyways. Hello girlies, it's another market weekend. The weather here in Atlanta has been actually tragic, but all's well that ends well. It's not supposed to rain anytime during this market. This is also my birthday week. My birthday was on Wednesday. My collection is finally out, so I can tell people to check it out on the website. Honestly, nothing negative to say, all positives. That being said, it's currently 9:40. Also, I'm pet sitting. That's why we're in a different environment. But anyways, let's do a quick transition in 3, 2, and 1. I know the angle changed, but I'm currently wearing the mesh tank top, and I have it crisscrossed in the back. For my product photos, wanted to show that you can wear it both ways. I actually never have worn it this way. Well, not recently at least, but I really like it. Like I said, it's very supportive, like, you know, like, I woke up with a lot of energy today. Anyways, I'm going to make a quick yogurt parfait. My car is already packed, thankfully, and get on the road because it's already 9:50, and recently Saturdays have been a little bit popping, so I'll see you at the market. Ow. Okay, hopefully you can't really hear me. It's currently like 1:15. The market has actually been, I mean, it's like dead right now, but there's been like a steady bit of traffic since about 12, which is nice. I now have all of my bikinis up, and it's definitely gravitated people. Like one like older group of people with their grandson, I'm gonna guess, asked if I sold swim trunks, which I do not. And then this really cute girl, she was adorable, just came up and was asking if I had any of the bikinis for sale, but I've worn almost all of them besides the black and white one. So I told her I could sell her the black and white one, but that was it. But anyways, I just finished up all of my headbands. Now this is back full. One might say too full, but I'm glad to have like 7 now, so that's good. I would like to make one more small scrunchie at least, and then maybe like a black headband, I think. And then yeah, those are my tasks for today. But talking to that girl, I realized I really need to get on maybe next week focusing on making some bikini cups in probably sizes small and medium, I think. See if we can make like 2 or 3 at least, maybe 4. I don't know. I won't worry about the bottoms, but people wear the cups with anything. So yeah, that's my day. All right, I'm back home from my market. I'm here with Mr. Gumball. Well, not home. This is kind of home. Anyways, I did not end up making any sales, and the market ended up ending early because it was about to rain. My friend arrived like just in time to like see my setup, and then I packed up like just in time. And by the time we had gone inside to like eat, by the time I had gone inside to eat, the rain like literally started pouring. So it all worked out in the end. It was really wonderful to see one of my besties, and now I'm just going to enjoy my night. I was working on a scrunchie at the market the whole time, but I kind of felt like working on like either probably a top for myself, if we're being super honest, if we're being so serious. Wow, the tail is, it's just, yep, okay. Anyways, we'll see what I get up to, but it's currently like 7, so I ended up getting back at about the same time that I would have if I hadn't ended my work early. But yeah, I'm gonna find something fizzy and be productive, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hi, it's actually Monday, and let's say Sunday went very interestingly. Right, so I arrived to the market honestly a little bit later because I had to get initially I was only pet sitting a cat, but at the very end the one dog that lives there and another dog were going to be coming, but I wasn't going to be like really watching them, just for like a few hours or whatever. And so I wanted to get them settled before I left for my market. And so I didn't end up getting to my market until about 10:50, which is definitely on the later end for me. And I was worried that it was going to be bumping, but it was literally just me and like one other vendor, and like nobody had set up yet. So I kind of like chilled in the car. I don't remember what I was doing in the car, to tell you the truth. Oh, it was Father's Day. So I called my dad, like talked to my dad. We were supposed to go to breakfast today and we didn't go. But also like I wasn't necessarily in the mood to go to breakfast today anyway. So people finally started arriving, so I decided to like go out and pick my tent. And initially I was going to pick, so if you guys have noticed my pattern, I either pick like the second tent or like the fifth or maybe like sixth tent. When I go to the second tent, I usually make a sale. However, when I go to the 5th/6th tent, someone always remarks on my bikinis. And so for this day, I had a feeling it was going to be slower, and I'd rather draw people into my bikinis than like make a $10 sale, even though based on the story I'm about to share, I might have picked differently. And anyways, someone picked the second tent and I didn't want any other tent, so I went to the one that I typically, or I had gone to the day before. So anyways, I like set up and I had already had like a plan for like what I was going to work on. I need to make a few more scrunchies, so I finished up one and I fully made one. And my dad really wanted a crochet hat, but they're like a little bit too long, like they cover his eyes, so I was like shortening a hat, and I was content, I was happy. And anyways, like I said, it was very slow, like very slow. I could probably, it was like, I always feel bad when I see people who had never come before or like hadn't been that many times, and they like are like, wow, this is like really dead. And I'm like, no, it is really dead. And they're like, is it always like this? And it's like, while it's never like the most jumping thing, you happen to be here on a really bad day. I'm so sorry. And so anyways, I'm just kind of like in my own world, you know, as I typically am. And so I see this girl who's at like another vendor like across from me, and I just knew like in my heart of hearts that she had come for me, like not to be cocky, but I just knew. So anyways, I left to go use the bathroom for a little bit, and when I came back out, she was walking towards my tent. She had like stopped at a few other ones, but she was like gunning towards my tent. So I like meet her there, and I was like, oh hey, and she was like, oh my gosh, like I just want to let you know that I actually came here like because I saw your bikinis, like, you know, like I got a last minute text saying that I was invited to like pool party and it's like bikini optional, and so then I saw these bikinis and I just thought it was perfect, like blah blah. And so I was like, oh well, that's like exciting, but I don't usually sell these bikinis. These are like my personal bikinis, so I've like worn them. Technically 3 of those bikinis I hadn't really worn, and 1 I'd only worn for like the photos that I took for my website. So I was like, if you're comfortable, then you could pick from one of these 3, but not that black one. So it was either the purple, I'll put a photo here, it was either this purple high-waisted one or this pink basic bikini. And so she like thought about it. I like showed her photos and she decided on the pink one, which I was like, okay, cool. I mean, was I sad to be selling it? Yeah, but I'd also like taken so much content in the pink one that I felt like it had like run its course, and it wasn't my OG sample. The tan one is my OG sample, so I didn't have like that sort of like, you know, like need to keep it as like a memory, but I did really like it. And it's like the perfect pink shade because it's like a true baby pink, where it's like, it's so pink that it's almost white, or it's like so light pink that it's almost white. Anyways, and I'd also already been planning like a pair of shorts I was gonna pair with the bikini to take photos when I go to the beach later this summer, but whatever. So she decided on that, and then she also decides on this pink like striped hat. And I told her that because I'd already worn the bikini, that I'd be willing to sell it to her for $115 as opposed to $160-ish is the price that you would get on my website. And then when she added the hat, I told her that I would just sell everything together for $150. She was like, okay, cool. So I was like, okay, like I can accept like tap to pay, like you can pay with your phone or with your card. And so I had like started setting that up, and she was like, oh, like I actually don't have my card on me, like something like that, and it's not connected to my phone. So I was like, okay. And I was like, well, like I also accept like Cash App or Venmo. And she was like, okay, like I'll just Cash App you. So I was like, okay. And so she like from her camera scans like my QR code, taps the link, goes in, she like shows me it's like $150, blah blah. I see her like card. I'm like, okay, cool. And then she was like, oh, actually, like she like, I don't remember what she was doing, but she like almost did it. And then she was like, oh wait, my card is locked, let me unlock it. So I was like, cool. Which I did think was weird, but I was like, whatever. And so while she's doing that, I'm like packing it up and like we're talking, and I was like, oh, well, like I'll throw in like my business card, like in case you ever want to buy anything else, like my Instagram's also on there. She was like, oh yeah, like that's great, like I have 4 daughters, like I would love to get us all something that matches. And I was like, yeah, of course, like just DM me. So then she like ends up taking a photo of like, or like scanning my QR code, taps on the link again, goes there, types in, she's like, Taylor J, right? I was like, yeah, Taylor J. She was like, okay, cool. So then I see her press payment. She shows me on the screen, payment confirmed, cool. And I also see where it says like cancel payment. So I was like, great. Now what did not occur is I did not get a notification on my phone saying payment received. I did not get that saying blah blah sent you $150. But I was like, I mean, like for numerous reasons. I think my number one reasoning was like, because it was a higher amount, it has been in the case before that people will like do like a custom order or something and they'll pay me via Cash App or Zelle. And because I'm not in their contacts, there's like no history of me being a person that they've Zelled to. Sometimes it'll take like 20 minutes to an hour for it to appear, even if they show me confirmation that they did send it when they said they sent it. So while I wasn't like loving the idea of her walking away and me not receiving like the confirmation, I'd also seen on her phone that she sent it to me, and I was just trusting that. Well, as the day goes on and on, I'm kind of like crashing out slightly. I'm like texting my friend, I'm like, yeah, like this just happened, and like she really didn't give scammy vibes. So like I don't know, like I do know Cash App is like an app that's easy to scam on, but I just was like and like I looked it up, and like technically speaking what I said is true. Sometimes if either the sender has had a history of like doing chargebacks, or if like they're sending it to someone new, Cash App will like hold the money for like 1 to 3 days, and in some cases Cash App will even like return the money to the sender, and then the sender has to like go through the process again. So I was just kind of like, I'm just gonna have to trust that like everything's gonna be okay. And unfortunately it's been more than 24 hours later and I did not receive that money. I'm talking about this now like in retrospect, obviously, and I've also like already had a good cry about it to my mom. It's nothing like when your mom asks you like, oh, how did things go? We're like, terrible, actually. No, I'm kidding. Well, I'm not kidding. I think the part that like hurts the most was the fact that this is like, number one, it's a handmade item. It's an item that took me over 20 hours to make just for the bikini, and then another 2.5 hours for the hat. It's annoying because it's something that did not exist in the world if I hadn't made it with my hands, and therefore if I ever see someone post a picture in that hat or bikini, I will know for 100% that not only was it my design, but it's literally the one from this exact shopping experience. It's like you did that with a one-of-one piece. So like if I ever, you know what I'm saying, like that's just like, that's grimy. It's also really annoying because like I did actually really like that bikini, you know, but because she's like telling me the story, I was like willing to sell it, even though that was like a bikini that was already planning future projects around. So now I just kind of like in a bit of like a creative, I don't know where to go from now. It's also like, I really did like that color, but is it worth it time-wise for me to make a whole new bikini in that color when I should and could be making other bikinis in other colors, making bikinis not for myself, because that was a conclusion that I came to, like based on 2 people like stopping. Well, this one was like a whatever situation, but the one from Saturday, it's like, no, it would be a good idea for me to try to commit to like making 1 new bikini a week for my market. So in the case that someone does randomly need a bikini, I have one that's not my personal one that I would be willing to give. But yeah, I think that the biggest thing that I'm struggling with is I'm a very kind and trustworthy person. I really try to see the most and like the best in people, especially people who look like me, but even people who don't look like me. And so to be slighted in that way by something that I literally spent hours and hours and hours and hours making, that just... But if you want to know how she did it, I posted about it on TikTok, and one of my friends, customer turned friend, told me that basically what they do is they turn their phone to airplane mode like before they like hit pay. So on Cash App's end, it does show you like the confirmation, but it doesn't actually take the money out of your account, and it doesn't send a notification to the other person, because people are like, oh, like just report her to Cash App. But because I did not get a notification, and I also don't remember if she told me her name, unless she follows me on Instagram, which she hasn't currently, there will be no way for me to trace her. And if I see her at my market, no, I'm kidding. I'm not really a fighting person, but I will do anything to get my money if I do happen to see her, besides fight her, because that's just not my vibe. But yeah, I will be honest and say that like I was a little bit like, I wanted to tell you guys like a happy ending, like be like, yeah, I was really unsure, but it all worked out, like I got the notification. So that's why I didn't update yesterday, and then today I was actually quite sad about it. But I'm glad that I like talked to my mom about it and like my friends about it, and like at the end of the day I did learn a good lesson. While for like a $10 headband, I'm willing to try Cash App, but at a certain amount, it's cash or tap to pay only. And yeah, that's my story. I am feeling a little bit better about it for sure, but it is still a bit of a bummer, and I am still feeling a little bit creatively like, what should I spend my time on this week? I still have a few like birthday related events and stuff, so I was planning on making like finishing up some things for that, but I'm like, should I try to work on a bikini? But I think I might crash out if I try to do bikini today. So I will update you guys in my next market vlog. I do plan on doing markets next weekend, and it'll be a hot one with no rain in sight. So hopefully I find my crochet bikini making mojo back at the second half of this week. But I think I'll take the next few days to work on a project that's new and a little bit more exciting. Anyways, I hope you guys learn from me. Be careful about Cash App. I did always know that that's something that you should be careful about, but take it from me, really do be careful about it. And I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye, you guys.